No problem. So we continue with the next chapter, number 3. And now topic is who is obligated in the Mitzvah of Tzedakah. So now we started who is allowed to take Tzedakah. Now who is obligated to give Tzedakah. A man. Any man who is the age of majority, 13 and 1 day, is obligated to Mitzvah of Tzedakah. That's it. Very simple. So that's why we train kids earlier. So because by the time he's 13 or she is 12, they already accepted Mitzvah of Tzedakah. All the kids has a little pushka. They put a few coins. So that's a good training. B, women. Once a woman has reached the age of majority, 12 and 1 day, she is obligated to Mitzvah of Tzedakah, the same as any other mitzvah, which is not bound by time. Okay, so as we learned in our class, halachas for women, right? Whatever is not bound by time, and of course there are some exceptions. There are some mitzvahs that are bound by time. Women obligated, for example, the laws of Shabbos. She is obligated, the Pesach, and others. Okay. So now we're going to a single woman. A woman who is single, widowed, divorced, etc., has complete ownership of any money which she earns. Therefore, she follows the same guidelines given tzedakah as a man. Single again, single meaning a widowed, divorced, or single. So she's in charge of all of the money. If she's 12 years old, 12 years and 1 day. B, married woman. A husband has an obligation to completely support his wife. Mizoines, right? A working wife has a right to keep her earnings, maseh yadayim, provided that she releases her husband from obligation to provide mizoines. In the event that the wife chooses not to seek independent employment, or even if she does, but no quid pro quo arrangement was made vis-a-vis mizoines maseh yedecha, all earnings then belongs to the husband. That being the case, the one would not be permitted to accept the sizable donation from a woman, since technically it is not her money. However, one would be permitted to accept small donation, davar muat, from a woman, since it is understood that her husband would not object. Okay, so let's, before we continue, let's do this paragraph again, and we're going to explain. So now we're talking about married woman, and when the couple get married, husband writes in Ksuba that he is obligated 3 things, and one of those is mizoines, meaning to provide for her sustenance. So meaning whatever money she makes, right, actually belongs to her husband, unless they did a prior arrangement, or they did correction to Ksuba, meaning what? So she said, I release him from obligation of mizoines, meaning that she's working. Okay. Usually it is decided beforehand, but it could be adjusted during the marriage. So one more time, a husband has obligation to completely support his wife. Okay, we said that. A working wife has the right to keep her earnings, provided, maseh yadayim, right, provided that she releases her husband from obligation to provide mizoines. So they signed a contract that she said, you're not obligated to support me, I'm going to support myself. And now in this case, she can keep the money. She does not have to give the money to the husband. Okay. And if it's her money, she is allowed to give tzedakah. If husband, if they did not have this arrangement, even though she makes much more money than he, it does not make any difference. Does not so he can be in kollel and she can be like I don't know, some kind of professional, makes $100,000 and he makes a fraction of it, right? So it's all still his money. So they need to make this arrangement if she wants to give tzedakah, and for other things as well. So she's not allowed to spend extra money unless he gives her like explicit permission. Okay, continue. In event the wife chooses not to seek independent employment, so she's not going to be or even if she does, but there is no previous arrangement, as we said, right? So if she's not working, or there is no previous arrangement that she can keep the money, all earnings then belongs to the husband, as we said, very clear. Even if she makes 3 times more or 7 times more than he, does not make any difference. That being the case, one would not be permitted to accept tzedakah, sizable tzedakah donation from a woman, sizable donation from the woman, right? Since technically it's not your money. So let's say this tzedakah collector came in the middle of the day, in the morning. The husband is at work, so and she brings him a check, or not check, cash, like $200. So he's not allowed to take this money unless it's they live in a mansion, very, very rich apartment or something, right? He's not allowed. It's a lot of money, right? Why is that? Maybe maybe her husband would not approve, right? So it's 100% stealing on her side. Maybe she decided to avenge herself or something, right? Spend this money, but this guy, this tzedakah collector, is going to be the one who's benefiting from the theft. And one prohibition that we have, we're not allowed to buy from a thief. And for example, that Rambam gives you're not allowed to buy things from a thief that is likely to be stolen. And Rambam gives an amazing example. He said you're not allowed to buy from shepherd milk and wool if he sells it if he passes this the herds in next to the towns, right? Why? Because he's not allowed to take somebody's milk. He's not allowed to cut somebody's wool, right? It's stolen. It's most likely stolen. It belongs to the owners, or to buy baby goats or something. So of course it belongs to the owners. Not allowed. But he said, for example, if he's somewhere in the desert, so you're allowed to buy from the shepherd cheese, or you're allowed to buy from the milk. Why? Because most likely, right? So he went to this pasture, like 3 weeks walk, or two weeks walk somewhere in the mountains. So for sure, this the owner is like he said, okay, keep the wool, keep this, keep the milk, keep the cheese. I do not care. I mean, then you can buy. But otherwise, if you have a suspicion that it is stolen, we're not allowed to buy. We're not allowed. It's actually a sin for a person to buy from a thief. So in this case, this tzedakah collector would not be allowed to take. It's like taking something stolen. Okay. However, one would be permitted to accept small donation. Right, something like according to everybody's. Actually, I apologize. We're going to explain what is a small donation. Of course, it depends on people. So for some people, it's a lot of money. So for some other people, it's a pocket change. Right? For a woman, so the small donation from a woman, since it is understood that your husband would not object. So of course maybe he's greedy, but not that greedy. If she gives $1 or something, so there is no problem, you can take. Okay.